Welcome or welcome back to Talks with Chrissy J, where we dive into real conversations that empower, uplift, and challenge you to be the best version of yourself. So if you are new here, I do want to go ahead and invite you to hit the subscribe button and join the fam. We would love to have you. If you feel like you know someone who can benefit from today's topic, go ahead and share it with them, okay? Because, we can grow. We love it over here. It's fun. And of course, if you are a returning subscriber or listener, thank you guys so much for being here and welcome back to another episode. So y'all, today I really want to talk about something that I feel has become very common these days. So I want to have a very open and honest conversation with you guys around this topic, and that is love bombing. It seems to be more common as the days go, and I don't understand. Now, just to preface, I am not dating. I haven't been on the dating scene in years. However, I have friends who are dating. I've been watching these dating shows like Love is Blind and, some of the reality shows here and there. And also on social media, I'm just seeing like, whoa, didn't they just start dating, or didn't she just meet him? Didn't he just meet her? What is going on? It just really is becoming a thing. And so I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had around the topic, okay? And I know y'all are probably like, what in the world is love bombing? But we're going to go ahead and get into this conversation, okay? So go ahead and get comfortable, grab your little something to snack on, something to sip on, and let's go ahead and jump into today's juicy conversation. All right, y'all. Love bombing is one of those things that it makes you feel like you're in a fairy tale. It makes you feel like you're living the life of your dreams at first. It's like when someone enters your life, right? You just meet this person and they shower you with compliments, affection, gifts, all the attention. They literally are doing every single thing right. Like they are so perfect that it makes you kind of like, okay, is this one of those too good to be true type of moments? What's going on? Like it's so good that it makes your antennas go up and you start looking for something bad. Like, okay, hold on. This person is crossing off every T and dotting every I. Like I'm waiting for something to go wrong here. That is the first sign. To me, that's the very first sign that will make me be like, now let me put this person under the microscope and really kind of take a look and see what's going on, right? So they make you feel all special because they're giving you the gifts, they're giving you the attention, they're complimenting you. We all like that. We all love how that feels. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is love bombing isn't love. It's not real love, y'all. It is a manipulation tactic that's used for them to gain control over you. And it often is the first step in a toxic and sometimes even abusive relationships. So let's talk about it. So this is what we're going to break down. I'm going to break this thing down because this is a conversation to be had and we got to do this thing right. So we're going to give you four segments of this. The first one is, what is love bombing and why do people do it? We're going to talk about how to recognize it before it's too late, and then how to be able to identify those red flags to watch out for when you are dating. And then finally, the fourth topic is how to protect yourself and set those healthy relationship boundaries. I can grab you a little something to write on, okay? Because we're going to drop gems on this one and you might want to take notes. All right, let's first talk about what love bombing is. So love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with affection, attention, those grand gestures, in an attempt to quickly win you over. It's very intense, very fast paced, and it can make you feel like you've met the one almost overnight. But in reality, love bombing is not about love at all, y'all. It is 100% about control. So love bombers, they often use excessive attention to create an emotional dependency. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that they make you feel special, but they only do it so that they later on can manipulate you into doing what they want you to do. So it's common in relationships, especially with narcissists or emotionally abusive individuals who want that power over you rather than a partnership with you. Now, some of the common signs of love bombing are excessive compliments or affection way too soon. So they say things like, "Oh, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so glad God sent you to me. I never felt this way about anyone before." And all of these things are usually said within days or weeks of knowing you. And then there's those intense communication conversations, and they usually text you all the time, or they constantly are calling you, wanting to know where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, all the time. Like they literally want to know every move you're making throughout the day when they're not with you. And then here comes the grand gestures, right? Those grand romantic gestures that everyone loves, whether you're male or female. People like things, so they get you those expensive gifts. They give you the surprise vacations, the over-the-top gestures that just seem way too good to be true. And y'all, come on, we're grown, right? And so most of the time, if it is too good to be true, if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. And then they also rush into relationships. So they like to push the commitment very early on. They start talking about marriage, moving in together, or even having kids way too soon. And last but not least, the one that is very obnoxious is the possessiveness and the jealousy. They act insecure. They start to question your friendships and your past relationships. And at first, all of this might feel flattering to you, right? Like if someone asks where you are, what you're doing, or calling you all the time, it's like, "Oh, he misses me, or I'm on his mind," or "I love the good morning texts, I love the good night calls," or whatever. Even if they act a little possessive or jealous, you're just like, "Oh my God, he really loves me," or "He really is into me." It can be a little flattering, right, in the beginning, but love bombing eventually shifts from adoration to control, and that's when things start to get a little dangerous, a little toxic, okay? So now, it's like, well, why do people love bomb? Like, why is this even a thing? And so I know that may be something that you're wondering, right? Why do people do this? What's the motive behind it? But love bombing, y'all, is typically used by individuals who, one, crave power and control. So they want you to become dependent on them so that they can dictate how you live your life. Then you have those that are just flat out emotionally unstable. So some love bombers, they don't even realize that they're even love bombing. They are just desperate for that affection, and they use intensity to, secure it. I would say that those are probably the ones I would give a little more grace to, but not grace enough to stay. Just grace enough to say, like, okay, they really didn't know that they're intentionally doing this. They just are emotionally unstable. Then we have the narcissistic, toxic love bombers, and run for the hills, girl, okay? Or guy, run, okay? Because girls can be love bombers too now, okay? I've witnessed a few in my lifetime now. Now, many love bombers, they do struggle with emotional regulation, and they love the chase. But then they quickly lose interest once they feel that they have you. So once they feel like they've secured you, or they got you in their pocket, they got you where they want you to be, they start to kind of gradually lose that like intense, chase after you, want you type of vibe. And then there's the love bombers that love bomb because of the fear of abandonment. And so some people really do love bomb out of fear. So they'll rush into relationships because they're more afraid of being alone. You know what I mean? So that's a thing, y'all. That's a real thing. Like people will rush to get to know you, speed the process up really fast, want to move in, want to get married, and all of the things just to avoid being alone. Now, we went over 4 reasons why people love bomb, and I'm sure there's more, but we're going to go over these because to me, these 4 stand out the most. Regardless of the reason, love bombing is unhealthy and it's unsustainable, and that's why it's important to recognize it early or before it turns into something harmful, because it can be very, very toxic. So I'm going to give you guys some red flags to watch out for while you are dating. And yeah, you can possibly take note of some things. I mean, hey, you might be dating right now, and some of these red flags that I'm about to share might trigger you to make a phone call or not, or even throw someone on the block list, because you got to protect yourself. But yeah, okay, we're going to get into it. So, 1, the first red flag is moving too fast. So if someone is saying things like "I love you" in the first week, or they're talking about marriage within the first month, or making plans for a future with you, or not even sure what you want, then I would say slow down. Like if that person is just throwing things left and right, left and right, left and right, and these are things that usually take a while for you to get to when you're dating someone that's not love bombing, that's really in it to be with you, to grow with you. It makes you feel a little uneasy. It makes you question, right, their motives. So if you feel any of those things, go with your intuition, because 9 times out of 10, you're picking up on a red flag that person is moving too fast. Okay, so yeah, if they're making future plans way too soon, just pump brakes, slow down, because healthy relationships are built over time and not overnight. Another red flag you can look out for is inconsistent behavior. So a love bomber's attention can be very, 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 and I'm going to emphasize on that, extremely overwhelming in the beginning. But once they feel like they've secured you, then they do gradually start to pull away. Their behavior does start to shift. And then you're like, hold on, you weren't like this, last month, or whatever the case is. So if their actions start to not match their words, then you want to start paying attention to that. And then, of course, because we got to have boundaries, okay? So if you have boundaries for yourself, that's a good thing. But if the love bomber is disrespecting your boundaries, that's not a good thing. So you want to ask, does your partner get upset if you say no? Do they guilt trip you for needing your space? Because a healthy person respects your boundaries, while a love bomber sees them as obstacles to control. This is the one I don't like. This one bothers me to my core. And this is the over-the-top jealousy love bomber. So they're constantly checking up on you, questioning your friendships, accusing you of flirting with others, just straight jealous. Jealousy can sometimes feel like care, maybe in the beginning, but in reality, it's a huge insecurity disguised as love. So being with an insecure person in general is not the move. Like, it's obnoxious. I've been there, done that. It's not the move, right? But being with an insecure love bomber, run. Like run, okay? Yeah, like run with Hussein's running sneakers on, okay? Like get away as fast as you can. After they do all of the things, they have the audacity to play victim. That's the part that gets me, y'all. So like when you confront them about their behavior, you start to pick up like, this doesn't seem right, or whatever the case is, then the love bomber will often start to twist the story, gaslight you, which is where a little bit of that narcissistic tendencies come in at, okay? Y'all know about the gaslighting. We're going to talk about that another day. But they start to make you feel like you're the bad guy. They might even cry, y'all, okay? They might even cry. But they'll guilt trip you or make you feel sorry for them, just so that they can avoid taking responsibility for what you peeping. Run. I can't say it enough. Run. Now, once y'all start peeping these red flags, you have to protect yourself, okay? So how do you protect yourself from a love bomber or a toxic relationship? I'm going to give you some key things to take away from this one here. So y'all, write this down. 1, take things slow. Okay. I'm a firm believer of enjoy the moment and have fun. Like, what's the rush? If I found you and you found me and we think we're the ones for each other, what are we rushing? What are we rushing? Right? Because we have each other in this moment. So why are we rushing for the end? Literally, like, take your time and have fun and enjoy the moment. Get to know me. Let me get to know you. Like, come on. What's the rush, y'all? You know what I'm saying? So take it slow. I'll say it again. A healthy relationship grows naturally and is not grown overnight. You don't plant the seed and get your tree tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. And if it does, what I'm about to say, run, because that tree ain't normal. That ain't right. Okay. And we ain't eating from whatever fruit it's gonna give, because no tree is growing overnight. And that goes for a relationship too. Okay. So take it slow. Don't rush your emotions or let the love bomber push you into commitments before you're ready. All right. Now, tip number 2 I'm going to give y'all is to set firm boundaries, y'all. Boundaries. Have them. Let's say them all together. Boundaries. 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 Okay. We want to have boundaries. So, if someone is texting you too much, love bombing with expensive gifts, making you feel uncomfortable, speak up. Call it out. Call it out so that they know you are peeping what's going on, because healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulators don't. Okay. So remember that healthy people respect your boundaries. Manipulators do not. Tip 3, you want to maintain your independence at all costs. Keep your friendships. Okay. Hold on to the friendships, because more than likely 9 times out of 10 those friends were there before them and they're gonna be there after. Okay. Keep your friendships, keep your hobbies and all the things that you're into that make you happy. Hold tight and firm to your goals. Okay. A relationship should complement your life and not consume it. Let's say that together. A relationship should complement your life and not consume it. And then 4, trust your gut. We have that intuition 9 times out of 10. We always try to ignore it, but we know that gut be knowing, y'all. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Pay attention to those little warning signs, because that's your intuition speaking to you and telling you to, y'all know what I'm about to say, run. Okay, run. Because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, our intuition ends up always being right. So listen to it. Tip number 5, watch their reaction to when you say no. How does the person react when you set your boundaries and say no? If they respect it, that's great. Amazing. But if they give you pushback or try to guilt trip you or become angry or standoffish, that is a huge sign of manipulation, y'all. Okay. So keep that in mind. When you say no, or you're setting your boundaries and you're making it known, and that person gives you any type of pushback, pay close attention. This one is the last tip I'm going to give y'all on this one. And that is to seek outside perspective. So talk to a trusted friend or family member. Sometimes it's people outside the relationship that can see the red flags more clearly than you can, because you're in it and this person is looking like that perfect one, a gift from God, right? It's like, oh my God, God, you finally answered my prayers and brought me the perfect man, everything that I've been asking for. But if he comes to you perfect, something's wrong, because we all know there's not a perfect 10 out there. Okay. So yeah, pay attention and seek that home girl or that homeboy who you know can trust, that you can trust, that ain't gonna tell you or steer you wrong. Okay. Now, before we wrap up, I just want to say, y'all, I know it's been a little toughy conversation, but listen, dating should always be fun. It should be exciting and safe. But in today's world, realistically, we do have to be aware of the difference between real love and manipulation disguised as love. A lot is going on in the world today, y'all. There's so much going on. People are stressed out. People are uneasy. People are uncomfortable. People are scared. And a lot of people are not really in it for the real raw, authentic, genuine reasons for partnership or love. They're in it because they're afraid of being alone, or they're afraid to take a fall by themselves, or they may need help, or whatever the case is. It's usually something beneficial to them. Okay, so just keep that in mind, all right? But love bombing might feel like a fairy tale in the beginning. The truth is, real love is not about overwhelming intensity. It's about consistency, trust, and mutual respect. So if you ever feel like someone is trying to control you through like excessive affection or grand gestures or making you feel emotionally dependent, pause and reevaluate the situation for real, because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And if you're able to acknowledge or pinpoint any of these red flags early, that's amazing. That it's early enough that you can get out of there. Okay, you deserve a relationship that is 100% built on honesty, security, and genuine connection. So as you go forward into your dating journey, I want you to remember to take your time, trust yourself, trust your instincts, your gut feeling, your intuition, and never ever settle for anything less than a love that feels safe and real. Okay? All right. So that's all I got for y'all today. I hope that I gave you some gems. If you have someone that, like I said, can use this word, go ahead and share the episode out, okay? It ain't nothing but love. Nothing but love. Tell them come on over here and subscribe. We would love to have them, okay? So that's it for today. That's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening, and I'll see y'all in next week's episode.